don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. All right, Clickbait episode 2, The Detective. All right, now this is much more down to earth. This is more my speed. There's a lead character. It's basically just following, of course, the detective, what it's titled. So I guess the title just dictates who the character's going to be following. I like that. I was kind of thinking it would be basically their perspective from the beginning, and then each episode basically go from someone's perspective from the beginning, but that didn't. They continued on from where it left off. The previous one just followed a different main character. And he's dealing with his own struggles, but he's more down to earth. That poor guy is apparently dealing with marital problems. What I understand is he was so focused on work, furthering his career he has a child, and he wanted a good life for his child. I'm assuming his wife felt neglected and abandoned him because of it. It's kind of tragic that he was trying to further his own career for his family, and that's all an assumption based, because he seemed like such a nice guy. He was more relatable. He was all career driven though. Here he was thinking he was being discriminated against because of his belief, but everything the senior detective mentioned, I was like, oh my gosh, it is real. He was focused solely on his career. Yes, he was hiding things and bringing them to the sergeant, the chief or whatever, behind the detective's back. So he's trying to basically bring an apple to the teacher, as it were, so that he would get an extra star. Instead of sharing it with the team, he was all self-driven. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this one's so much better. It feels a little slower, but at the same time, because the character is much more relatable, because the stakes are actually laid out. They're looking for him because, well, at this point, after 48 hours, the chances of finding someone is to slim, or to none at that point. So, yeah, it's more in-depth, and you're following a character who's actually more, well, in my case, was relatable. So I was immediately more interested in his story, immediately felt sorry for what he's going through, immediately was confused as to why he was. But the fact that, he was being played a prank. A phone that had pictures of him was submitted to the cops. They printed out the pictures and posted them. Heck, even I've seen Lethal Weapon. I know that officers play pranks on one another, and it's normally the partner that does it. Of course, that's not really realistic, but the fact that he just immediately blew up and yelled at the senior detective, and then that's when the senior detective basically spells it out as to he's a very selfish detective, he's only career driven, doesn't care about the team, all that stuff. And then as the senior detective's mentioning it, you're just like, yeah, this guy was so focused on himself, made it all about himself, that yeah, he doesn't look at anyone else. He was making it all that it was, they were just discriminating against him. No, he was focused on himself, that he was basically excluding himself from the group. Yeah. Better episode. Much better episode. It makes it, I'm not going to say, like, I really want to see the next episode, but it makes it more interesting, because obviously the next episode is called The Wife, and it's going to follow the wife. And she's a very flat character. Not as wild as the sister, but very flat from everything we've seen. She's dead all around. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.